BurbankandBeyond.com.
Hi, I'm Dick Dornan, sports producer for BurbankandBeyond.com. We are here today at Burroughs High School at Memorial Field for the celebration of the beginning of construction here at this old and ancient stadium. It's been the home for the Indians and the Bulldogs for many, many years. And today, we come together as a community, as schools, as friends, to celebrate the beginning of something very special, the renovation of Memorial Field.
And it's a beautiful day for this groundbreaking ceremony of Memorial Field. My name is Emilio Uriasti, and it is my honor to serve as the principal of this distinguished high school. Tremendous honor for me.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today for this truly historic moment. All of the dignitaries and elected officials have been introduced and thanked, and we're just especially grateful as a school district to be able to partner with the city of Burbank and to be able to bring a project like this to reality. We know that many of you, I'm the relative newcomer. I'm just the lucky person who got to be here late in the game and gets to enjoy the work of implementing this project, but many of you have been around it and looking forward to it for a long time, and so we're very pleased to be able to finally see it come to fruition today. I thought I might give you a couple of interesting facts about the stadium. It is a project that in total with budget is going to cost about $12 million. It's going to improve the seating throughout the entire stadium, so there will be demolition and reconstruction of new seating. It's going to include concessions and restrooms. It's going to include new lighting and artificial field surface. It's going to include synthetic track and a beautifully thought out decorative facade that will wrap around the outside of the stadium so that it's not only functional and useful, but it really is one of those jewels that we hope sparkles in the middle of a pretty glittery place, which is this community and this home that we call Burbank.
I'll recap. I'm a Burroughs graduate, class of 1984, and it was right about there that Burbank High lined up to kick a field goal. Burroughs was up by 1 point, and time was running out. In fact, there was maybe 1 second on the clock or no time left on the clock, and we had the game won. Burroughs was visitors that year. I was sitting right there in about the 5th row. I remember it like it was yesterday. Alfredo Velasco lined up. He would end up playing for UCLA and then got drafted to play in the pros. He lined up to kick a field goal, longest field goal in the history of the world. I think he missed it. He missed it wide right or something like that. Burroughs goes crazy. We're the most excited people in the world. And then over here somewhere there was a yellow flag on the field, and I think it was either illegal or offsides or too many men on the field. Burroughs had a penalty. So move it up 5 yards. He splits the uprights. Burbank wins, and we go home not happy. And I vowed that day that I would tear this whole frickin' place down. Starting with those bleachers, anything you can see is going to be, I don't want a memory of that day in 1984. But as Stan pointed out, truly today is a day about partnerships. A partnership between the city and the school district. I am so thankful for the vision of the city council to invest in the schools, and so thankful for the school district to allow the city to participate and join in the use of this facility. And I think it's being portrayed as the city is sort of making out because, or that the school district, I'm sorry, is sort of making out because the city is giving, if you will, money to the school district to improve this facility. But when you look at what the city gets back, first of all, you look at where the money comes from. This is a partnership of an entire community. They're tax dollars, whether they come into your left pocket and go to the school district or your right pocket and go to the city. It's your tax dollars at work, and we owe it to the taxpayers to spend those dollars as wisely and efficiently as possible, and that means partnering together and utilizing our resources and our facilities as efficiently and effectively as possible, and that's what we're doing here with this joint project. And this is really the final of 3 projects. We started with Burbank High School, and then did Jordan Middle School, and now we're finishing up here at Memorial Field at Burroughs. And it's just a testament to the forward thinking of the City Council and the school district board together to use your tax dollars as wisely as possible. Cannot wait for this project to conclude. The groundbreaking is just the very beginning. I'll be happy when we're back here a year from now celebrating the conclusion of this project. I want to thank also, as Stan did, the many volunteers and the many donors in the private sector and in the community. Michael Hastings, thank you for all of your work. Cusimano family, thank you for all of your work. And the committees that have gotten us to this point. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you 1 year from now. Thank you to the students. You're going to be sort of displaced, and it's going to be the inconvenience that falls upon you for the next year. But short-term pain, long-term gain, at least that's what the coach told us as we were running up and down those bleachers. Another reason to tear these things down would be training for basketball. I think that may have been why I recommended making the bleachers shorter and the seats less, so future students don't have to run as many bleachers. But in all seriousness, a great day to be representing you as the city manager. It's always an honor and a privilege to do that.
Guess what we have here today? We have the love child of the city of Burbank and the Burbank Unified School District. So I think it's really cool. And like a love child, it has the best of both parents, we hope. And so what we have here, this child is going to grow until that child is born sometime down the line and going to have the best feature of this community, which is this real sense of community. I mean, you've got the who's of Burbank here today. And everybody here today has their fingers in many pots in this community, this pot included, which is doing something for the benefit of the entire community, because we know it's not only the students that use these fields, but also the community comes out here. Every day of the week you'll see people walking around the track, running around the track, limping around the track, doing something around here. We have track teams that come out here and practice. We know the band plays here. And this place, as you've heard from Mike and other people, holds so many memories for so many people in the city of Burbank, myself included, even though I didn't go to either one of these schools. I did wear one of the jackets in the parade. Mary wore the other one. I won't say who's who. But anyway, you know, one of my children went to this school, and she wished it had been done sooner, this cleaning up of these fields. But, you know, we're here, and we're ready to go now, and it's just such an exciting moment to start the shovel work in and see these things get cranked up. And it'll be a little inconvenient, but the end result is going to be a perfectly beautiful 10-toed and 10-fingered child. So I look forward to that day, and I know you'll all be back for that on that date.
And if you haven't noticed, we've imported gold shovels. They're very expensive, but this is a special occasion. So I'm going to ask the school board members to please come forward. Also, city council members. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I'm here with Stan Carrizosa, the superintendent of Burbank. Talk about this special day and what it means for the community of Burbank.
Oh, it's such an incredible event for the community. You know, like I shared in the comments, being able to come out and put together a group of people on a facility like this that means so much to the community, it's a special time for the school board and the city for sure. You know, it's a centerpiece really for the community. If you look at all the things that are special about a community, you look at big venues like this, to be able to have a stadium facility that's not only going to serve high schools and middle schools and athletics, but it's going to be a place for the 4th of July and picnics and concerts and all those kinds of events. And to have such a beautiful setting here right on a main thoroughfare and to be able to pull Burbank together, wrap that up with all the tradition that's gone on here for generations, I think it's going to be a really exciting move to the new facility.
It is, and this being your first year as superintendent, this has got to mean something a little bit more special to be part of this.
Yeah, like I said again in the comments that I made, being able to be here and be a part of the community events that have taken place here, you can feel that this is a place where the community's heart beats. And for us to have an opportunity to give it a complete makeover, an extreme makeover, and create it for the next 100 years is just very exciting for me as superintendent.
I'm here with Mike Fladd, the city manager for the city of Burbank. Mike, obviously a great day for the city and for you, and just talk about what this means.
Well, it's a great day for everybody because, again, it's two different government agencies, a city and a school district partnering, and I think a lot of people think, especially the bureaucrats like me, think that tax dollars that come to the city are different than tax dollars that come to the school district, and we should be working together, we should be partnering, we should be leveraging each other and each other's resources, and we should be spending money wisely, and that's really what this represents. And I think some people are going to think it's just a gift to the school, but it really benefits the entire community, the people that walk on this track, the kids that are going to be playing soccer out here. It's just it's a huge win for the entire community. Right. So,
what's the timeline right now on this facility to be completely done and renovated?
Hopefully it should be a year from now. So the goal is to only have Burroughs football down for one season. So they'll have a lot of away games and games across town for this season. and then get it right back online. And we're really trying to, it's so residentially adjacent here, we're trying to minimize the impact on the neighborhood too. So really, demolition's a big part of it. Getting these big old stadiums down and getting the new ones built is a big part of the construction timeline. The actual field, the biggest improvement in the field and the track is really quick. I mean, they've got the artificial turf and the synthetic tracks now down to a science where they can get them in really quick. So really it's the demolition and the rebuild on the stadiums. That'll take some time, but I mean, look at these things. They're just rusted out and they're just horrible. They haven't changed since I went here, 25 years ago. So.
Right. You had mentioned during your passionate speech that you're a Burroughs graduate of '84. Yeah. How really did you feel about that Velasco fuel? Did it really kick your butt?
Oh, yeah, I was not happy. Like I said, I was sitting right over there, and we thought we had the game won, and how many games have we watched? But when you're 18 years old, and it's your senior year, and it's the crosstown rival, and you think you've got it won, and then a penalty, and then they kick again and win. It was heart-wrenching. It was our whole Burroughs side of the stands we were just heart-wrenched. So we were heavy favorites, as Burroughs always is or seems to be, So it was a devastating thing. But another one of those things. Every other year, it always comes down to it. This year was close, and Burroughs won it, and so it's always a lot of drama.
It all evens out when it's said and done.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't want it to not even out on your senior year,
Right. But your wish came true. It's going to be torn down, but renovate under your leadership. So, Mike, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You got it. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Keith, a special day. It's finally here. What do you think?
It's fantastic. It's going to be a tough road with all the away games, but we were prepared to do it last year, and we were lucky enough to get 3 back. So we got a little experience with all the traveling. So I think we'll get through it, and we'll use it as a battle cry. Playing all away games, and then we'll just be prepared to come back when the new stadium comes and enjoy it. With all the new facilities and the field turf and all that stuff. We pretty much play on field turf all the time now. Burroughs was one of the only schools left that had natural grass, which when it was good was probably the best surface that you could play on. So that part of it we're going to miss, but I think all the fans are going to appreciate the new seats and no splinters and possibility of falling through the steps and all that stuff. So it's going to be really neat. Nice new press box, and it'll be fun to see when it's finally complete. So.
As a player and back in the day, and as well as a coach now, did you think this day would ever come where you would see a complete renovation of this facility?
Well, it's pretty funny because the two things that were always rumors when I was playing back in the late 70s and the early 80s were that Memorial Field was always going to get rebuilt, and they were going to join the 2 high schools together for one powerhouse. So I knew one of them had to come through, and with the enrollment always going up and up, I knew they weren't going to put the 2 high schools together. So I thought that this was a possibility first. And through the time, I saw the field kind of fall apart since I've been here every day. You saw it happen, and I knew it had to come soon. So
right now, is there any truth to the rumor, Keith, that you're going to grow out this beard until the day it's done?
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. But unfortunately, it's just my winter look for my waterfowling. So, I'll be nice and clean cut for the new season when it comes up. So,
well, we look forward to seeing you during spring ball this summer. Of course, the kickoff here in September.
Fantastic, thank you guys.
I'm sitting here in the visiting stands at Memorial Field at Burroughs High School. These wooden seats, these dilapidated stairs, all a part of the 1960s when these stands were installed. The original seats are over my right shoulder, now on the Burroughs baseball field where the first base seats are. In a couple days, renovation begins. In 1 year, it'll be complete. All the hard work done by this community will be fulfilled in one grand moment come 1 year from right now. For BurbankandBeyond.com, this is Dick Dornan saying thank you to the City of Burbank for this great renovation project here at Memorial Field at Burroughs High School.